Let's see if you know these B2 expressions, which are more upper intermediate, and they are very common expressions. So let's find out if you need to continue building your vocabulary, or perhaps it's the other way around. And I want to start with that expression, the other way around. This means the opposite way or in the opposite order. And for the most part, you're going to use this expression at the end of a statement. And let me give you a cultural example. So in the United States, which is where I'm from, if it's your birthday, then maybe your friends and family will take you out and they will pay for your meal. However, in other countries, it's the other way around. Whoever is having their birthday, they may take out their friends and family, and that person, the host, will pay. For pronunciation, very quickly, I just want to point out that the article the has two different pronunciations, a strong form, the, and a weak form, the. In this case, we're going to use the strong form the because the next word begins with a vowel sound, the other way around.
Well, I don't know how they did things in that city, but in this city, handmaidens wait on ladies, not the other way around.
Indians ain't supposed to feel sorry for cowboys. It's the other way around.
Then we have an expression that I feel like I often use whenever I want to share my opinion, and that is, as far as I'm concerned. So this is a way to share your personal opinion about something. It's a little more polite, a little more formal, a little more professional, but you can still use it when you're out with friends. So let me give you my opinion about different things. As far as I'm concerned, English is a very useful language to learn. As far as I'm concerned, Coke is better than Pepsi. And as far as I'm concerned, the US will win the next World Cup. That's not really my opinion, but I just want to support the team.
As far as I'm concerned, right here with you and the boys, this is paradise.
As far as I'm concerned, when you jumped through that wormhole, you were doing your job.
The car was driving home.
Wow, as far as I'm concerned, I would never forfeit my control of the wheel.
When pronouncing this phrase, just be aware that linking may occur. This is when we link the final consonant sound of one word with the beginning vowel sound of the next word. So think about the phrase, far as I'm. We can link those three words together, and it's like we're moving that consonant sound over to the next syllable. Far as I'm, as far as I'm concerned. So I would say, as far as I'm concerned, you should subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications. That way I can become your teacher. My name is Wes. The channel is Interactive English. It's all about trying to help you reach your fluency goals. So go ahead, subscribe. I think it's very important that you continue building your vocabulary at all cost. Well, maybe not at all cost, but that is the next expression that I want to teach you. At all cost is used whenever you want to say that something must be done or avoided, whatever happens, even if it's very difficult or causes a lot of problems. So this is a great phrase when you want to emphasize something. Maybe you want to avoid something at all cost, or protect something at all cost, or win at all cost. Now, there is a slight debate as to whether or not the word cost should be singular or plural. For the most part, it is more common to use the plural form cost with an S. According to the Grammarist, at all cost is the more correct form of the phrase and is most common in both spoken and written English. The letter S in cost should not be omitted. To help give you a better idea as to how this expression is used in context, I have some news headlines for you. Warren Gatlin hits out at Springboks and their win-at-all-cost mentality. Crypto, 4 altcoins to avoid at all cost, according to experts. Panda Express menu items the staff avoid at all cost. So if you like to eat at Panda Express, this is probably an article you want to read. For pronunciation, I want to talk about the flap T because this is a distinct part of the American accent. I told you, I'm from the US. So the final T in at, you're going to hear me pronounce it as a flap T. It's going to sound like a soft D because the T comes between two vowel sounds. And then I can link that flap T with the vowel sound in all, at all cost. Just listen for it.
Yeah, but what about no mercy?
You taught us to win at all costs.
Your mission is to protect the code at all costs.
Next, we have the expression to take someone's breath away, which means to be very beautiful or surprising. So you would say that something takes your breath away. It could be a performance, a meal, a work of art. And it's just a great way to add emphasis. The phrase was widely popularized in the 80s by the music group Berlin, who released their hit song, Take My Breath Away, which they made for the movie Top Gun. I don't want to play it because I just don't want to get a copyright strike, but it sounds like, take my breath away. This sounds nothing like Berlin. But I will say that once again, when pronouncing this phrase, linking will occur. We can link that voiceless TH in breath with the vowel sound in a way. Breath away. Take my breath away.
Whoa! Yeah!
Wow. Really takes your breath away, doesn't she?
Your art collection never fails to take my breath away.
So, did I take your breath away?
Have an open mind or keep an open mind. This means to wait until you have all the facts before forming an opinion or making a decision about something. This expression is very common and very useful, especially nowadays, because I think it is incredibly important that people have an open mind or keep an open mind. And that is the other thing that I want to point out. You're really going to use this with those verbs. We need to have an open mind or we need to keep an open mind. And of course, open mind, this is a noun phrase, but you can also use it as an adjective. It's also very common if you want to say that someone is open-minded. When pronouncing this expression, more linking may occur. So have an open, we can link that phrase together, as well as keep an open. We can link that together as well. Just listen for it.
I just hope you'll have an open mind about the Great Pumpkin.
You should keep an open mind.
Things said in the circle have a surprising way of coming true.
Yeah, it's freshwater eel.
Eel? People actually eat that crap?
It's very popular. Just have an open mind.
And keep an open mind here.
Then we have lose track. This means to no longer know what is happening or not to remember something. And often you're going to follow this with the preposition of, to lose track of someone or to lose track of something. And a common collocation with this expression is to lose track of time.
He always loses track of time.
Meet a girl, you lose track of place and time.
Sorry, I lost track of time.
You lost track of time.
You have to tell me when you're going to be home late.
When pronouncing this expression, there's more linking, track of. I try not to lose track of time, but it definitely happens. A pain in the neck. You can use this expression when you want to say that someone or something is really annoying. I might say, well, one of my students is a real pain in the neck. And I'm not talking about you, of course not. This is just an example. Or commuting downtown is such a pain in the neck. So when I gave you both of those examples, I added a little emphasis. And you can do that if you want to say something or someone is a real pain in the neck or such a pain in the neck. Another idiom with the same meaning would really just be replacing the word neck with the word butt or ass. Pain in the butt, pain in the ass. Now, it is a little stronger, and I would say that you need to know your audience because someone could very well get offended, especially if you say they're a pain in the butt or a pain in the ass. But there is more linking that may occur. We can link the final consonant sound in pain with the beginning vowel sound in. And this can be a bit challenging, linking a final n sound with the preposition in. Pain in, pain in, pain in the neck. Give it a try. Pain in the neck. Excellent.
She's a big pain in the neck.
If I had wanted a proper maid, I would not have hired a headstrong, opinionated, pain in the neck like you.
Next is the expression up to a point. This means partly or to a limited degree. So basically you're really just establishing a limit. I could say, I will tolerate his laziness up to a point. Or her story was true up to a point. Or your method worked up to a point. To give you a better idea as to how this expression is used in context, I have some more news headlines for you. Locusts raised in high gravity grow freakishly strong up to a point. Using AI to reduce collisions at sea is a good idea, up to a point. Wildfire smoke drives a rise in ER visits up to a point. For pronunciation, I would like to point out that intrusion may occur. This is when you add a slight sound between two vowels in order to link them together. So to ends with a back vowel, so we can add a slight w, that W sound in between there to link them together. To up to a point.
Can the wagon train go any faster?
Up to a point?
Excuse me? We're here because you said you have a plan.
I do. Up to a point.
This little performance you're putting on will only help you up to a point.
To cross someone's mind. This means to think of something. And often you may use it in a question like, did it cross your mind to hit the like button? You know, just something to think about. Or people may often use it in the negative. If I were to say, I forgot to take out the dog, it just didn't cross my mind. Here are some more examples.
Hey, when we sell the Bitcoin, are you gonna pay your dad back all the money you took from him over the years?
I never even crossed my mind.
Wait, you think I'm spy?
The thought has crossed our minds, yeah.
The pronunciation's pretty simple and straightforward, to cross someone's mind. So let's just move on to the next expression, which is to break the ice. This means to make people who have never met before feel more relaxed with each other. So you could use this idiom whenever you have a group of people who don't know each other and say, let's break the ice, or we need to break the ice. You could also use the noun phrase icebreaker as well. Let's do an icebreaker. When pronouncing this idiom, remember I told you that the article the has a strong and weak form. Once again, we're going to use that strong form the because the next word begins with a vowel sound, to break the ice.
It's my first day as city manager, so I'm holding open office hours to break the ice.
So to break the ice, we brought cupcakes.
And then there's to break someone's heart, which really has two meanings. The first one would be to make someone who loves you very sad, pretty much by telling this person that you stopped loving them. I could say, she said that she wanted to see other people and it just broke his heart. And in this context, I could also change it to an adjective and say he is heartbroken. It can also be used when you want to refer to an event or situation that makes you very sad. So let me give you an honest example. I have a little girl, I'm a parent now, and really since then, anything that involves children, if it's a tragic event, it just really breaks my heart. If it is, doesn't matter if it's a shooting, a natural disaster, any tragic event, it really breaks my heart when children are involved. So this is really an expression that you can use to capture that sad emotion and that feeling when something breaks your heart.
I know it was you, Fredo. You broke my heart. You broke my heart.
My date, Mary Jo Klumsky, left the senior dance with another guy. Broke my heart.
Gave me a home, gave me a name, and in return I've given it my life. And to see it like this breaks my heart.
Once again, I think the pronunciation's pretty simple and straightforward, to break someone's heart. So let's move on to our next expression, can't be bothered. I will say that I think this is more commonly used in British English, but you may hear people in the US use it as well. I can't be bothered. This means that you are too lazy or tired to do something. I can't be bothered to work over the weekend. Or, and this is true, I can't be bothered to iron my clothes. Or I could say, I can't be bothered to cook tonight. Now, to really drive the meaning home, I have some images of animals that can't be bothered. Blah, 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 rules of the house, I can't be bothered. I really love this one. This koala, can't be bothered. Or when you can't be bothered to turn your head. For pronunciation, I thought I could point out some of the differences between American and British English. That vowel sound, can't, versus British English, which is going to sound like can't. Can't, can't. Can't be bothered. Can't be bothered. I can't be bothered. And it's actually a really I think a really bad example of a British accent, and yeah, maybe I just can't be bothered to improve my British accent. But let's see if you can hear the difference.
If you can't be bothered to do homework, the only thing people are going to trust you with is grunt work.
What about Marissa?
Marissa can't be bothered. She's too busy running around with that tattooed new friend of hers.
I won't stand up because I can't be bothered.
All right, well, if you can't be bothered, I'll have a sandwich.
Now for a little review. I hope that this lesson took your breath away and you were amazed at just how much you learned. And I would love for you to continue building your vocabulary at all costs. That may be a little extreme, and perhaps it's the other way around, and you don't want to overdo it, because you can learn new words every day up to a point, because then it could become too much. But I suppose you are already familiar with some of these expressions, and in that case, as far as I'm concerned, it's always good to get review. I've really enjoyed teaching you this vocabulary, and you know what they say, when you're having fun, it's easy to lose track of time, so I should probably start to wrap things up. And of course, you can continue building your vocabulary by watching another video lesson. I suppose that has already crossed your mind. Please don't tell me, well, I can't be bothered, because if you were to say that, it would just break my heart. Now, even though I can sometimes be a pain in the neck or even a pain in the ass, I hope that you enjoyed learning these expressions with me. If you enjoyed the lesson and learned something new, please hit that like button. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. So long.